Hey, welcome back. So, guess what today is? It's my birthday. But more importantly, it's the birthday of this channel. This channel's 3 years old, which is kind of crazy. I guess a lot happens in 3 years, but I don't know. This isn't a retrospective episode. I've already done like one of those. The next year of this channel's gonna be the same as the last year. Nothing weird is changing. I'm gonna keep doing it. It's my journal, and I like doing it, so. Especially when I'm playing Peggle. So yeah, I'm playing Peggle again. I'm just gonna rename this channel just Peggle Gaming, because Peggle's more important than social anxiety anyway. So I don't know. Because when I finish this, I'm gonna play Peggle too. I downloaded it, so in case I finish this at like today or something. So I do have a lot of stuff to talk about. And Dalton gave me a really cool idea. It's not going to be today, but one day this week, and maybe one day every week from now on, I'm going to talk without looking at my notes at all. I think that's important to do. I mentioned that last week, and I don't know why I hadn't thought of that, but it's a good idea. But like, I'm not going to say, oh, this is the episode where, because I'm trying to get better at just like, you don't have notes when you talk to people in real life. Like, oh, you go to the restaurant, you don't have notes with you. I mean, so sometimes I do write notes like when I call people, but I guess today I had a couple things. I'm gonna talk about this Hinge person, and then maybe later I'll talk about Ukraine if you're lucky. So that Hinge person I mentioned last week, I might meet her. I don't know. We haven't made any plans yet, but she really doesn't talk a lot she doesn't text a lot, and I'm okay with that, but I was really getting the impression like she didn't like me because she wasn't asking me any questions or sorry, sometimes when the refrigerator is on, it's like a white noise, and then it turns off, and I'm like, wow, it's really quiet in here. But I'm okay. So we might meet. We talked yesterday, and I asked her if she wanted to do anything. And she was like, yes, but then we didn't like say, oh, let's do it tomorrow. She didn't respond. She doesn't, I don't know. She's probably dealing with it in a healthier way than me, where she's just like, oh, I'll look at it once a day, the app, because she probably gets like 1 million messages, so not like me where I just get one a week or something. What am I doing wrong here? I need to use somebody else. What do you want to do? This guy? Those are the two guys that I use. See, I'm going to talk to the therapist about it today, because I am worried about meeting her. My worry is, what was my worry? It's hard not to feel like the first 3 people, after I met them, they were like, nah, So that's what she's gonna feel like. So I've met 3 people from online, and they've all been like, after they met me, and I could feel that way too, just like, no, you're not like we had a conversation, which is good, like a normal conversation, and I didn't like throw up on them or something. But like there wasn't the extra connection thing. But like I don't think that's like it's gonna happen with everybody. Like if I can barely have a conversation, how am I gonna do the extra part? And I don't even know what the extra part is. So I'm just kind of worried that like I'm gonna go and it's gonna just be the same thing, and then I'm just gonna keep feeling like, well, okay, like it's good. I had a conversation with somebody and it was nice. Good. But I'm over that part now, and I want to get to the next part. Okay, I think I could beat this. Watch this shot. Nope, that wasn't good. Whoops. I wanted to get these guys. This is bad. I thought I had it. So I guess that's it. I'll keep you updated. Maybe she'll text me probably. It seems like she checks it like once a day at like, I don't know, 5 or 6 o'clock or something, and then she's like, oh, blah, 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 and then I'm like, oh, blah, 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 and then she doesn't answer until the next day. And I used to feel like, well, if she really wanted to talk to me, she'd be like talking to me. But I don't know, maybe she just doesn't like doing that, and I'm fine with that. That's fine. I don't care. I'm just thinking too much about it. I was gonna say something. Whatever. You want to talk about Ukraine? Good. Yeah, I think by the end of this week I'll have an update for you on what we're doing, hopefully. But it was interesting how once I asked her, like, hey, do you want to do something? This is me obviously reading way too much into stuff, but she used an exclamation point. She was like, yeah, exclamation point. So I'm like, okay, that's enthusiasm. Like, she wouldn't do that if she didn't want to do it, right? She could just say no. Yeah, I don't know. So some people don't like, I kind of like texting because I feel like I can be more like honest and emotive in a text. Just like when you're doing a social interaction, there's a lot more to think about. And you just have your time over text. But some people, I guess, they don't like it, so that's fine. Or maybe she does hate me and she's just being nice, but the more I talk to her, the less a possibility I think that is. Let's talk about Ukraine real quick, and then I gotta do my therapy. So I watched Joe Biden today. He had an announcement because Russia just invaded Ukraine. I didn't think that they would do that. I mean, I'm not like a geopolitical expert or anything, but like, even listening to people talk, like, nobody really knows, well, why is he doing this? Why is Putin doing this? It makes no sense. Everybody, like, if he had like China on his side and like, but like everybody's kind of like, why are you doing this? This is horrible. You're just gonna kill people for no reason. Nobody is okay with it, which is good, because Russia can't really do anything by themselves. Like, this can't escalate into a world war if Russia's just like doing crazy stuff by themselves. Like, if they invaded Poland next or something, would be bad, but we would be able to beat them pretty easily, I would think. I don't know. I think China would have a hard time siding with Russia in that, but I have no idea, because that's what they would need. They would need like China and India to help them against all the NATO countries. And it seems like all the NATO countries are kind of like cool, like we're on the same page, and so like we seem to be kind of like it's a good alliance. Well, I don't know. I have a good feeling about our NATO allies for some reason. And I think Biden's speech helped me feel better about that. I don't usually watch his speeches, but I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, this is the craziest geopolitical thing that's ever happened in my lifetime. Russia just invaded another country. That's like they were bombing Kiev this morning. They weren't just like, oh, let's take Crimea. This is it. I mean, they're taking over Ukraine. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like the craziest thing that's ever happened. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's horrible, but I hope Ukraine wins. I don't know. Like, what Biden said is, what we do here is we gave Ukraine as much money as we could before to like build up their defenses. And now that Russia's invaded, it's like, Ukraine, you're kind of on your own. Like, we'll sanction Russia, obviously. But we can't send troops there because that's a world war. And they're not even a NATO ally, so that makes sense to me. Like, Ukraine, we hope you win. But there's nothing else I guess we can do until Russia invades, like Poland or something, and then we beat Russia, and then we give Ukraine back to Ukraine. But it doesn't feel like, to me, I don't know, just the first thing that came to my mind when this happened is like, oh, this is appeasement. What if this is appeasement? Like with Hitler. It doesn't feel like appeasement because everybody kind of hates Russia right now, so and there is a red line. It's not just like, okay, you could take a little bit of France and you could take a little bit of, I don't know, Poland or whatever, like in World War II. We have a red line, which is NATO. If you cross into NATO, you're at war with all the NATO countries. And it seems, I don't know anything, but like it does seem like the NATO countries will uphold that. Like, if someone invaded France, then everybody would start fighting the people who invaded France. Seems like we got a good thing going. And nobody else. So I guess we could look back and like maybe if in 20 years there is a World War III and Russia, like this was the start of Russia getting stronger somehow. Hopefully these sanctions are as strong as Biden said. Like, I don't know anything about it, but he's like, these are the strongest sanctions in the history of sanctions. And he's like, 50% of Russian exports are sanctioned or something. So hopefully that is good. I mean, I don't know anything, but hopefully it's as strong as it sounds. Because that's all we can do is just try to cripple their economy as much as possible and just make them be like we want I guess the Russian people to turn against Putin, and just like everybody in Russia hates Putin. Like, why are you doing this? We're starving, and you're invading Ukraine. It doesn't make any sense. The ruble is worth zero. Whoa, this is stupid. And Russia has tried, like, they've tested the waters with, like, false flag stuff, and none of it's worked, so that's good. There's no Reichstag moment. Everybody's like, yeah, no, Russia's horrible. Putin's the worst. There's no justification for this. Nobody agrees. Like, even China's not saying, like, oh, maybe this was kind of a good idea. If you heard that stuff, I think that's when you can start to worry, because then Russia might say, oh, we got Ukraine. What if we took Poland? And then China's like, yeah, if you took Poland, we could help you out with that. Then they invade Poland. I keep saying Poland. I don't even know if Poland is a NATO country, but I think it is. So then Russia invades Poland, and China backs them up. So now you have kind of like, that's a problem, because that's a World War III situation with nuclear powers, which I don't know how that ends. Nobody does, and it can't end good. It's that's it for today. Well, let's just try to finish this. I don't think anybody really, we've never had a modern world war. We don't know, with nuclear weapons, we don't know how it ends. Would you just instantly use your nuclear weapons? You'd think so. But I don't know. I think the U.S. would be hesitant to use nuclear weapons too soon, because they'd be like, oh, civilians are there, and so I think you'd like to think this, but it didn't happen in World War II. The other countries would have to use nuclear weapons first. But if we felt like our backs were against the wall, I think a lot of people would feel like, well, we should, because, like, these people are horrible, and they're just, like, taking over countries, independent countries, and killing people. We have to stop it. And the only way we can do it is nuclear weapons. I don't know. But then that's it. That's mutually assured destruction. There goes your planet. Goodbye. So that's fun. Maybe I'll talk more about Ukraine. Just like, I don't know, pray for the people in Ukraine, I guess. I did this morning. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. I didn't think it would be like this. Like, it's insane. I didn't think he would invade Ukraine. He's in the capital, like, bombing them. It's, like, unbelievable. I don't know. It's crazy. See you tomorrow. Bye.